we can do this. We can do this. And then finally, oh yeah, so we'll let the YouTube go. That's critical. What's happening over in our video conference? Who do we have? I'll pull this up here. Okay, so Dylan and Kinza are there, and I think that we are just about ready to blast off here. Nice. Come on in, Calvin. Grab a seat. Oh, great, Afoma. Yeah, please take the notes, and you can just rub everything off. And I think we are all set to begin. And I have my notes here. Let's see. We'll keep this up here just in case there's a crash, because before I came in today, we lost our live stream. I don't know why that happened, but we did. But it's holding right now. So, are we good? I believe we are. And I will get some stools in here for the microphones and everything. We'll get the stools. Okay, let's get these guys in. So I can sit down with that. And then finally, we are. There we go. Okay. And here we are, microphones, everybody. We are good. And let me just finally double check with those in the cosmos, and then we can start. Okay, so I'm just going to come back here. Okay, Kenza and Dylan, could you just confirm that you can hear me clearly? Just go yes in the live chat, and then we are ready. I know we're good. Thank you. Good. So Kenza, and then I know. Yeah. Okay, so welcome, everyone, to our 11th class of this semester. We are in the final 4 weeks of the semester, as I'm sure you know, with the workload that probably is starting to build for all of you for the final grade that will be posted on, I believe it is Tuesday, April the 22nd. So everything is moving now towards that date, and I really want to make sure that you get a great grade in this class. And the only way that that's going to happen is that if I teach you well and you're ready to roll up your sleeves and do the work. Particularly today, we're going to hit the ground running shortly. Everybody's going to get to their stations, and we're going to be working on something together around a very important characteristic of leadership. That's going to be the critical part today, which is we're going to really drill down together, and I'm going to tell you right now what we're going to do at the stations together and then take up together. And then I'm going to come back here and go through some housekeeping with you, because there are a number of things that I need to tell you about and update you about. Come on in, Isaiah. Yeah, hi, good to see you. Essentially, what we're going to do today is we're going to take the idea of vision. A leader needs a vision, the critical aspect. You can't lead without that vision. And I'm going to combine that with another aspect of leadership, which is something we haven't talked a lot about yet this semester, and that is an aspect of leadership in terms of leading a country. When we talk about leaders, we talk about people who are overseeing initiatives, projects, leading groups, but there's another type of leader that we need to really look at, and that is a political leader, a leader of a country. When we talk about global leaders, usually that's what we mean when we talk first, immediately, of global leadership. We talk about who are the leaders of the different countries. Well, we're going to look at that, and then we're going to look finally at what's your vision for Canada? Now, that's big, but You need to put on a hat today, and I will help you do that, to think almost like a prime minister for a couple of hours, okay? In about 30 plus days, you will be voting in what many are saying is the most important federal election in this country's history since the country was founded in 1867. If you are reading and watching and taking in good information about what's happening in society around you, as opposed to the clips that often we get drawn to, quick things, but you're really checking credible news sources, reading, watching documentaries, talking to people, trying to understand what's going on, you will know that these are unusual times. This is definitely a class that, Aaron, you're gonna like. Come on in. I'm talking about political leadership, and if you can, could you park yourself right here in the couch? Um, because that's right. Aaron made it very clear in last week's class with the courage he had in coming up here with the people we had as guests, and he said, "I want to be a political leader." And he has repeatedly throughout this semester brought up this idea of democracy and freedom. So it's clear to me now when I think about who's in this class and what you want, that there is one student who's very determined to either go back to his country, which I believe is it Nigeria? Uganda, or stay here. He will decide. And he wants to, by the age of 40, I think he said, be in a position of real leadership. And I have been thinking about that quite a bit over the last week, and I was waiting for him to come because I planned to address him directly like this, but I wasn't sure, and so I was. But this is really what I wanted to make everybody clear on: is that we're going to talk about vision today. We're going to talk about your vision for Canada, and you're going to understand something about what it means to be a political leader running a country, because that is fundamentally what global leadership is all about. We look at who are the people running the different countries. Well, this is the moment. This is the moment for all of you to be thinking about a nation's future because, and I wish I was embellishing or exaggerating. There's the reality today is even more strange than fiction. We're in a world right now, which is people are talking about a new Canada. A new Canada that is no longer tied to the United States. This is unprecedented in our country's history. Absolutely, Sean. It's been a long time coming. It's been a long time coming, okay? But good points. I'll come to you in a second, okay? I just want to, but Sean, you're plugged right in. It's great, okay? And you understand. So I want to give you all a chance today to go to the boards. We have five, well, we have four of them, three of them may be working today. And I really want to give you a chance to work together to present to all of us what is your vision for Canada, for the new Canada. A lot of people right now during this incredible federal election that we're in right now. It just began last Sunday. Okay, so the Mark Carney, Pierre Poilievre, Jasmeet Singh, the Green Party, and a few others, but the three major ones, three major parties, three leaders, really two that matter the most right now. Looks like the NDP is going to get just blown out. That's what the polls are saying. Is that you mean sort of figuratively, not Yeah, it's almost it almost feels that way, with Jasmeet saying, however, if you follow what's going on, there are two people that matter the most now to the future of our nation. Mark Carney and Pierre Poilievre, leader of the Liberal Party of Canada, leader of the Progressive Conservative Party. People have been saying that there's a problem right now in the election campaign that has not yet emerged, and it will emerge more importantly with the debates. We're going to be seeing debates soon on television, which is, it seems that neither Mark Carney or Pierre Poilievre actually have a vision for the new Canada. What they're doing is they're talking about survival. How are we going to survive the tariffs? They're talking about the economy. They're talking about, the normal things that we always hear about. But nobody yet, critics are saying, has done what Justin Trudeau's father did in the early 1970s, Pierre Trudeau, when he brought a constitution to Canada with the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, and he spoke in almost poetic terms, inspiring terms about the soul of Canada, and he presented a vision for Canada. Nobody's done that yet. Today, you're going to do that. We're going to do that together. What is your vision for this new Canada when the United States is no longer important to our future? And when people are ready, literally ready, if we faced a military occupation, which I'd like to say will never happen in this country. It's just crazy. But so many crazy things have happened with Donald Trump and his supporters that it could happen. He just sent people to Greenland, a group with his national security advisor. And there are Canadians who are saying, I'm ready to defend the country if I have to, and give blood if I had to. I can't imagine this ever happening, but we can't put anything beyond the Americans in the next 3 years or more of Donald Trump's presidency. And it's not about Donald Trump, it's about MAGA, Make America Great Again. It's all these people that love him. It's the movement, Sean. It's the movement. So, I'm going to come back and do some housekeeping in a moment. And just hold on. Let's at least start talking a little bit about this, okay, the vision. But you're going to be able to go over there, and then I'm going to help you as you're working on this, and we get all of your notes up here with all the different ideas of what does this new Canada look like? If you were prime minister, what would you be inspiring people about? Just to talk about money and to talk about, less taxes or more taxes. This is what we've been doing forever, and it's so boring. It's so depressing. People want a vision for this country, a new country, and that's what you're going to try and do. So this is going to be a really fascinating class where you're going to have a chance to really engage in this idea of being a real political global leader. And that's why I think for Aaron, it's going to be immensely inspiring for you as well. And we will see. So I'm going to stop because I want to get you to the station shortly, and I have all sorts of housekeeping to do with things coming. But let's see. There are some questions. I know, Alec, you want to go. Sean may have something, and then we'll come back to housekeeping. So, Alec, sorry, I just want to make sure I get all of this out there. Go ahead.
Hello. All right. Just two comments. One, have you heard about the MAGA Greenland movement?
The MAGA Greenland movement?
Yes.
Please tell us.
Make America Go Away.
What's that? Make America Go Away. That's right. Well, that's a nice thought, but sorry. I'm going to take this off and kind of getting going. I'm going to help to fill in for you throughout the day's class as much history as I can because a lot of you may not be aware that we've been dealing with this since the beginning of this country, which is the threat of American invasion. It just yesterday, I think I saw in the New York Times or the Washington Post, finally, they're starting to make reference to the idea of what the original framers of the American Constitution, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Benjamin Franklin, they spoke of Canada being the 14th colony. They wanted Canada to be the 14th colony of the new United States in 1776 and 1777. There were 13 colonies, so I'll get to that. So making America go away or making America great, the fact is, it's almost like we've been living in a bit of a bubble the last decades, and we've been outside of history. When you look at the real bigger picture, we have been fighting off American invasion since the beginning. They want our resources. So there's nothing new in this. What's new is we have to figure out, after more than 200 years of working so closely with them along the longest undefended border on the planet, well, now what do? What's the new Canada going to be? So you're going to have to think really big today. And that's what global leaders do. Okay, now, if you don't have any questions, I want to talk about some things that are happening in this room, like tonight. Okay, and Afoma, could you come over and we'll give Afoma a microphone. I wanted to just say that she will tell you about an event that's taking place here tonight that you're all welcome to come to, right? And then I'll tell you more about what's happening. Please go ahead.
Hello. So tonight here in the Global Classroom from 6:15 to 8:45, the debate club is having our first public debate where we'll be discussing. It's in three segments. The first segment is going to be an "If I Rule the World" segment, which is where you stand up here and
Sorry, I don't know if that's working. Just because I try this because I'm okay. There we go. Yeah, good. Yeah, it's so. Go ahead. Yeah.
okay. So the first segment is going to be an "If I Rule the World" segment where a debater will stand up here, make a claim, whatever it is, and then a bunch of debaters, reporters in this sense, are going to ask you questions on it, and you have to defend your stance. Then the second segment is going to be a fast debate, 3 rounds. The first topic is going to be, should drones be banned in war? The second topic is, should Canada be a part of the US? The third topic is, should drugs be decriminalized? Then the main debate, which is the biggest one, is on DEI. Is it advancing fairness or undermining merit? There'll be food if you want to drop by.
Important.
Well, the
Food.
main
Yeah.
part is the debate. You're going to hear all sort of things, and the debate is not reflecting anyone's actual opinion. I'm sure you already know, but it might be controversial, and people will be honest about it.
Mm.
Feel free to stop by. It's here in the Global Classroom this evening. If you have time to come, please come. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you. Any questions for Afoma about, remember, she's in the global leader class and she's telling you about an event, but there's also leadership skills that she's demonstrating. So yeah, Aaron, do you want to, here, I'll get it. So this, let's see, I'll just test because maybe it was just the way she was. Yeah, okay. So it's just karaoke, okay? Yeah.
What time is it?
It's from 6:15 today, 8:45.
Hmm.
That's the time.
Great. Okay. So would you be able to do me a favor, the ones that are on the edges, just so can we fill the couches on YouTube and make it look like we've got a class going? Because this is what we push out to the rest of the world. So I want to make it look like what's really true, which is the students at Durham College are actually in person in the classroom. And that's important. Okay. Okay, so put up whatever information you need to FOMO about the debate on the board, and that's the first thing. So the second thing I wanted to talk about is that, speaking of events, April the 9th is tentatively scheduled for the Repair Cafe in the Global Classroom. And that is going to be an event that Alec is overseeing and will be the basis for his final assignment, too. We can talk about that, okay? So, Alec, could you come up for a second and let's talk about that and make sure that we have that under control, because I haven't had a chance to speak to him. And then we'll talk about your other fourth assignments that have come up, okay? So, Alec, where any news on the event?
At the current moment, not much. We haven't had a chance to talk about it, and
Yep.
unfortunately, I have been bogged down with a lot of final assignments.
Yep.
I've received 8 final projects that I'm currently working on, but I have been looking at ways to help bring it out. I've been talking with different organizations within Durham to try to get repairers, try to get some, outward projections so we can kind of get an idea of what we're looking at and how many people we're looking at.
Okay, so let's look at, remember, this is a global leader class, and I'm helping all of you lead, and also we talk about the bigger issues in the world. So, Alec, do you need a team around you at the moment to help?
Yes.
Okay, so let's just see for a moment in the in-person group and in the Cosmos, if there is anyone right now who would like to become part of the team, and that would become part of their final assignment, okay? And then that way you would have help. If we determine, and this again is part of leadership, okay? We're having a meeting right now. If we determine that Alec is too busy, that he's got too much on his plate, you know what a leader will do? A leader will go, well, I can't do it. I'm going to have to make that decision now, as early as possible. We're not going to do it. So what we're doing right now is what you would be doing as a leader. Is you would be planning. You'd be looking ahead at things, and you would be seeing what can and can't you do, and you need help, team. So let me ask Alec for a second. Alec, do you have other priorities right now that are, and it's okay if you do, I understand that are more important than your final assignment for the Global Leader class? Probably you do.
Unfortunately, yes.
Unfortunately, yes. Good answer. Alec, do you think that maybe you can't do this event on the 9th?
Yes, so I wanted to talk to you about that. I was wondering if we could possibly hold it sometime in the summer instead.
Okay, then that would be a very different thing, and then it would become, absolutely, we could. In fact, I'll be teaching here, I'm told, through the spring and summer. You know, there were layoffs at the college. I mean, everything's falling on people's shoulders now, so everybody's got more work. So I will be here, and we could do it, but it would mean it would fall outside of the Global Leader class.
No, and I understand that, but if I was to do something like this, I feel like I would have to put more of my attention and time on it. And unfortunately for this final semester, I am in my final semester.
Fair enough.
I've taken an additional 4 classes.
Yep.
So I am above like a 1.5 workload.
Okay, no problem. So I'm getting a sense listening to him, I may be wrong, that even if there was a team here, he won't be able to lead the team and organize the way he wants. He's too busy. So here comes a really hard thing. Leaders do this all the time. Am I tough enough to say no? I can't do it. Or do you do what a less mature leader would do? Is you commit to everything, and then the deadline's bottleneck. And then you get into a panic because you've committed to too many things. And then at that moment, let's say if Alec had committed to the Repair Cafe on April the 9th, and he realizes on, a week before, I cannot do this. I've got so many things. I wish I'd pulled the plug earlier, but it's now a week before. So he reaches out to me in a crisis. You don't want that. You don't want crisis. You don't want, I can't do it. Bring in mommy and bring in daddy to help me. You can't. You're not children. You're grown-ups. You're leaders. You have to know. So I'm going to say, I think this is a great teachable moment. Watch what we're going to do. Not easy. First, is there anyone who really wants to get involved in doing the Repair Cafe on April the 9th in the global classroom? Raise a hand.
I don't know if I would be able to fix anything in there.
No problem.
Maybe I could fix friendships or marriages.
I'm sure you could, Sean. Yeah.
I don't think I
Take a microphone and we got to hear this, okay? So, what did you say? Go.
So the Repair Cafe is currently being known as like a place where you can repair things, right?
Anything, but usually, actually objects, not people.
I don't know if I can.
Hold on. Let me.
Yeah.
The rule of thumb is anything that can be carried in by two hands.
Seriously? I guess marriage papers.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay. Well, I would say, given what
it's
we're
marriage,
trying to solve, here comes.
marriage or fixed friendships. Just Ivoma, please put in
Okay.
fixed.
That's what
broken
Sean wants to
friendships.
do. That's creative, and we actually
I
did.
honestly don't think that I would be able to do it, but I'll help whatever I can.
Well, Sean, thank you, but nonetheless, a hard decision needs to be made. It even breaks my heart to say this because I was looking forward to having, but it's just not doable. So I'm going to say this event on April the 9th is canceled.
Yeah, the only way I would be able to get it to move forward at this current moment in time would be the issue is just getting fixers. Like it's advertising the fixers, getting fixers here. The problem is a lot of the fixers I know are based out in the GTA, Toronto, downtown area. And it would be harder to get them out in the Durham region, so we would have to find Durham fixers. So my thoughts originally was maybe I would look at doing a repair cafe outside of the school first
Sure.
to kind of drum up a local interest and get an idea of where we sit in that field before I looked at the school.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So two things I'm going to say before we move on, okay? First, we're going to cancel the event for April the 9th. But if we wanted to have a longer conversation about this and you were really, really determined to have this event and you didn't feel you could contribute to it, then as a leader, you would think, who on my team would be the go-to person right now for event planning? Who on my team has demonstrated an ability already to bring in 100 people into this room? Who on my team has just stood up here and said, we're having a debate here tonight? But I think that person's plate is too full, right? Because the truth is, what you need is marketing help. You need to get the word out to everybody on the campus. We need people who like to fix things. I have no doubt, Alec, that there are many, many people on our campus, Ontario Tech and elsewhere, who want to fix things. It's just taking the time to market. And she would be the right person, but she can't.
No, it's exactly that. But the other issue is marketing to the campus itself. Even if someone can fix, it doesn't mean they want to join an event, right? When we did the initial marketing for last semester and we were looking at the event itself,
Yes.
when we were holding, there was very little interest in fixing. A lot of people were more interested in getting things fixed, but there was less interest in the fixing itself.
That's true. Yeah. So it would take some work. It would take some real work to get people out.
Yeah, I can fill it up with tons of like computer repair people.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at appliances, jewelry, books, things like that. You would need a wider range of like skills.
Yeah. Okay. So it's canceled. It's canceled. Okay. No problem. Okay, Alec. Really, and there will be another fourth assignment that you can be doing for the class. Okay. No. But thanks for going as far as you could with it, and then saying this is the reality. I have more important things. And okay.
I wouldn't say it's more important. It's just that the way that some of the classes are set up, you're kind of forced into groups that you don't choose yourself, and those people's timelines don't always add up.
Sure. Let's come back to what we were going to really look at today, which is vision, and we're getting there. But you know, you've seen a very good real-time example of how important it is to plan and deal with this thing called time management. Many students have come to me over the years, and they get really excited about something at the beginning, and then I don't hear from them. And I've learned to understand that because I was kind of like that too when I was younger. They are into it, but they haven't really figured out yet how to not commit until you're ready to commit. Their emotions got the better of them. And that's great. Passion is great, but a good leader, is a little more careful in what he or she says to others about what he can or can't do. And I'm not saying Alec overcommitted at all, because he has been such a great champion of the Repair Cafe and a great student, and I fully support what he does. However, I think that in a way, this can stand as an example of try when you get involved in things to think about if you can really do it before you open your mouth. Because as a leader, people look to you. Your words matter. They really, really matter. Okay? So we're going to move on. Okay? We're going to move on. Canceled. And what I'd like to do is just quickly go through a couple of other things, and then we've got to get to the stations. But this is important because there's so much coming for you in these 4 weeks. I want to make sure it's all clear. So Repair Cafe, April the 9th, is canceled. Just quickly to go through, you noticed that the class 9 that we did, where we had all those tech issues and we kind of made it work. As it happened, I forgot to do certain things as well, and it never got properly recorded. So you may have noticed that there's no recording of class 9. And Tanisha, I know you were asking about that, and others as well. Here's what I'm going to do. Some of you who were here in person did post your questions. You will receive the 3 out of 3. For all of you online who saw no recording and were expecting it, everybody in this class for that class will get 3 out of 3 for participation, okay? So everybody, whether you were in the Cosmos synchronously, asynchronously, and I will update that soon. Okay, so that will deal with class 9 because I've had emails going, where's the recording? Okay, so everybody will get that 1.5%. Okay, speaking of overcommitting, your professor is responsible and guilty of this. Do you remember the letter we wrote to Alan Long? We were going to invite him as a guest, and I planned to do that. Well, too many things have been happening. Now you're seeing your professor have to say, oh, maybe I did a little too much. However, I'm going to suggest, originally the plan was we were going to finish the letter and we were going to send it to him a couple of weeks ago and invite him to be our guest in the final class. We can still do that, but we're not going to do that together. I'm going to give an option to somebody for their final assignment. That you would be responsible for taking the notes that we did together for Alan Long. Remember the entrepreneur in Vancouver who started the organization and very progressive and businesslike in terms of how he's going to, he's making a food bank a lot more of a professionally run operation. Fresh produce, and he's looking at how you can improve supply lines or refrigeration of things that they come, and a real entrepreneur, a real social entrepreneur, a real global leader. If any of you would like to have as your final assignment the composition of that letter that you would send to him to invite him, taking the notes, and then arranging for the class to be held on April the 16th, which is our final class of the semester, you would receive your marks for your final assignment for that. And that would be, of course, like any final assignment, worth 30%. And you would be writing a letter to a global leader. You would be organizing him to come online. You wouldn't be getting people from all over the campus to have an event like the Repair Cafe, but you would be doing what leaders do all the time in the real world, is you're always communicating, trying to establish partnerships with other people. You're writing letters to them, emails, inviting them to have a meeting and maybe go for a coffee, or even when you become very rich, come to my house for dinner and maybe you can become my partner. So you're writing invitations and establishing. So is there anybody that would like to take that on for their final assignment? Inviting Alan Long, organizing it for the final class. Is it Christian? Yeah, way to go. I wasn't sure what. Then Christian, are you ready to commit to this or not? Because once you open your mouth now, you will be held to this. So I want to make sure you're comfortable with this. You are now getting married to the idea. No divorce. No divorce. Are you ready to get married? You're going to marry the idea. Okay? Are you ready to say, I want that idea. I love that idea. I'm going to go to the end of the earth with that idea because it matters so much to me. I love it. I want to make it happen. Yes? Way to go. Let's do this. Let's make sure it's clean. We'll have a little handshake. There it is. Okay? There it is. You know, you could have a contract, which you often do with your teams. But we've seen in the world of global leadership today, not just in the United States, but elsewhere, how often deals are broken all the time, no matter what's written. What matters is your word. Don't ever forget that. Your word to somebody that you will do something, your commitment to that and to the people who you are with is sacred. You don't need a contract. You don't need an email. Yes, you can do that. You can have your vice president of management and administration and others to do all of that for you. Yes, that's important to have all of that paperwork done. Absolutely, because there are legal obligations. But ultimately, if you're going to lead effectively, people have to trust you. That's your word. So now, Christian has to demonstrate that his word means something. If Christian decides a week before this is due, I can't do it, he's going to pay with a little blood. It's going to hurt. Does it make sense? It's going to hurt. Are you sure you're ready to commit to this? Okay, you are, and you care enough, you're going to do great on the assignment, and you'll get high marks. You just have to care. As Afoma understood so well when she wrote in one of her reflections, and she said, I really understand, Lon, what you said, the leader has to be the one who cares the most. Number one. Alec? What's that? I'll get them to him. Not to worry. I'll get you all set up for it. I won't leave you hanging out there, okay? Way to go. Okay, so that's the Alan Long. We're going to have a great guest, hopefully. If he doesn't accept, it's okay. The fact that you went and invited him and tried to organize that will be enough, okay? We'll see what happens, okay? So April the 16th, Alan Long. And then finally, you have your third reflection. It's due next Thursday, I think it is. Thursday, April the 3rd. Good, okay? So does anybody have any questions before we really get this going to your stations? Let's see what's happening in the cosmos. Liam, Dylan, Kinza, are you all clear on what we've just discussed together? Yes? No? Let's see if there's okay, let me just test. I'm concerned. Oh, yup. So Kenza, did that just, yeah, that just came in as a yup. So Liam and Dylan, are you actually in the class? Let's just see. Yeah, okay, good, good. All right. Yeah. Okay, let's get ready for the big activity. Lovepreet, right? Oh, Gurpreet, sorry, yes. Can you give him the microphone, please? Yeah, just behind you. There it is. It's in your lap. Yeah, good. Okay. Gurpreet, go ahead, please. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you're on. Go ahead.
I have a question related to the refraction 4 final assignment.
Yes.
Like you posted on the YouTube channel, like on the Grover class, you talk about the how each participation and refraction percentage, like 30%, 20%.
Yes, yes.
And on that video, you talk about that we, for a fourth reflection, we have to attend the four classes like week 11 to 11, 14. And you talk about that if we attend the week like week 11, we get 7.5.
Oh no, that's I know what you're doing. You're going to the YouTube channel. You're seeing my other classes there too. So you're seeing Short History of the World on Friday. It's a different class.
No, it's also a global class.
Now, yeah, it's a good question. That's great. You're going to the YouTube channel. Okay, what I do is I teach in this room 3 classes. 2 on Wednesday, Global Leader, Humanity's Destiny. Then on Friday, I'm back for Short History of the World. All of those classes are like this class. They get posted on YouTube. But then what I do is I take those individual classes on YouTube and I embed the code into DC Connect. So the Global Leader students just see the Global Leader class. The Short History of the World student see the Short History of the World. But if you're a student like you who's maybe more enterprising and you go to the YouTube channel, you're thinking it's all Global Leader. But take a look at the title for that class. You will see SHW. That's what you're referring to. You're referring to the wrong class. Okay? So don't worry about what you were just asking. You don't need to worry about that. Okay, Gurpreet? That's just for the Short History of the World students. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay. Is everybody ready to get up and talk vision? I would like to check in with others about their final assignment, but we'll do that later or next week. We need to get going on our activity. It's too important. Alec?
Just a question on the
Sure.
So is this like no holds bar, like no price tag too large, or is this like trying to be realistic?
Try to be realistic. Absolutely. I'm asking you, to the best of your ability, to put yourself into the shoes of either 1 or 2 people right now. You are either Mark Carney or you are Pierre Poilievre. If you want, you could be Jasmeet Singh, but well, don't say God forbid. Be careful. You mean? I think you mean it more. Let's remember. Good point. There are others here, and this is going to speak to Canadian history. The Bloc Québécois is just a party that represents Quebec, independence, Quebec sovereignty. That has been a long-standing. I'm talking too much history. I've got to get you going, okay? Sean, good points. I'll get to that later, okay? Let's get going, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then 13. So we've got 1, 2, and 5. We can actually do 3 and 5. So we can have 4 groups. So let's say we'll have 3 to a pod. So AFOMA will have a team there with pod number 1, and we'll put Calvin and Amir with AFOMA. Okay, great. That'll be your team. And then for the second team, Madison, Aaron, and Christian. Okay, we'll be over there. Team 2, and there's a pen at the top. Team 3 will be Alec, Ruth, and Gurpreet. Okay, team 3 over there, and then team 4, Isaiah, Justin, Jonathan, yes, and others go to number 5. Okay, and there should be a pen there. If not, I will help you. And then for those of you online, I will come to you momentarily. But we're going to start. You go ahead with go ahead with Alec. Exactly, team 3. Sean, thanks. Okay, so yeah, let's get this set up, and I'll see what's working. But first, get yourself a board, a free, and I can show you how to do that if you need help. If not, you may know how to do it already. Looks like you have that. Okay, yeah. Let's see. I'll do this for you. Let's see, come here, because you go to this, and then Roll Browser will get you, and then you can do this. Okay, so you can just rub that. That's from another one. And then hopefully I can put this up here on the board if not. Okay, so vision of the new Canada. Our vision of the new Canada. Now, I have not talked to you much about helping you for what to put there. I want to do this first, allowing you to put there what you want, what you know, and what you hope for, your imagination. But I will fill in later when we do the take-up. After we do all of this together, we're all going to come back here, and we're going to get all of these things up on the boards, and we're going to talk, and I will help you more with that. But for now, the only question I would ask you is, are you all clear on what a vision is? When I say that I want you to present a vision for the new Canada, does anyone feel they need some clarification on what does the word vision mean and why is it so important to leadership? Does anyone, or do you feel like you have enough to go? Alec? Yes, what you're building toward, it's a picture of how you want to improve society, and it speaks to emotions. It speaks to a sense of aspiration, the dream of what is this better world. It's not technical. You're not talking about details yet. You're talking more about just this picture of what you see and why people will like this, will feel better about living or being in this place. It's something you see in your mind, but we're not getting into the nitty-gritty yet of the details. It's a dream. And in that dream, you have to be able to communicate that to people later so that it lifts them up, gives them hope, but isn't exaggerated, isn't pie in the sky, where everyone goes, that sounds nice, but come on, it's never going to happen. It's hard. I will fill in later how some have articulated this vision in other countries. Vladimir Zelensky, for example, Pierre Trudeau, who brought us a constitution here, and you may have other examples. Does that make sense? Just try, okay? We'll go. Okay, so what is your vision? The new Canada? Go for it. And I'll check in with you a little later. And for those of you in the Cosmos, Liam, Dylan, and Kinza, please start in the live chat answering this question. And here we go. I'm going to write it. What is your vision for the new Canada. Here we go. Please, with as much dreaming as you can, tell us what that vision is. Good, Liam. Keep not big enough. You are focused on just this is good, Liam. You're starting. Home building is just one part of a nation. Defense is another part. Human rights is another part. Justice is another part. So home building is just one aspect. Go bigger, Liam. Be broader. I want a vision for the whole country. In what you've given, if I, as a Canadian, were not interested in home building, I wouldn't really listen to you. So you need a broader vision that encompasses everybody. Does that make sense, Liam? You have a start. You have a start. It's about home building. Keep going, okay? Broader. Broader. Okay. So Kinza, Liam, and Dylan are working on their live chat. That's great. I'll have those as notes after. Now let me work on the presets here and see what we have. So that's team 1. We want to go to team 2. Okay, good. Team 2 is up there. Okay. Dylan, am I still cutting in and out, or am I in right now, nice and clearly? Let's do a quick test, Dylan, and see. Can you jump on your microphone and say hello? How are you, Lon? Just want to see if we can hear you. Go ahead. Okay. Dylan will be back. Okay. So let's see if we get something on number 3. That's 2. Do. Oh, great. Good. Alec, we're up. We've got you on the big board, okay, now? So that's good. We're there. Great. So we've got 3, 1, 2, and 3 going. And let's see. 1. We'll do 2. Nice. We got the boards going. How about 5? Do we have 5? No. 5 does not want to come. Okay. So it's just 1, 2, and 3 for some reason. That's fine. Okay. So now we're getting things ready. Kenza, my vision for New Canada is one where innovations, inclusivity, and sustainability define our. Oh, Kinza, nice. Kinza, what is our national identity? Go ahead and define the national identity in the new Canada.
Oh, right now,
Good.
it's more.
Kinza and Liam are
No.
on it.
We
Dylan, I
can't.
don't know where you are. Are you in another solar system? Have you disappeared? And do you need to be rescued? Possibly.
Yeah, so
Okay.
right now,
You're thinking. Nice, Dylan.
hello, can you hear me? Hello.
No problem. Okay, you now, Dylan, here's what you've done, which is excellent. You've done something like what Liam did, but even more. It's a laundry list of all sorts of different things that you want to see improved. I want to see something poetic that speaks to our hearts.
Hello, are you able to
If
hear
you
me?
say, you know, want spending and NATO agreements at 2%, that's the details. That's what Pierre Poilievre and Mark Carney debate. The detail. I want speak to the heart now. You're speaking to the hearts of Canadians. What is the new Canada? Dylan, do you
Hello,
understand
are you able
what I'm
to hear
asking
me?
you to do? Okay, great. So I'm going to move the camera around. Speak to the hearts of Canadians. That's vision. It's in the heart. Okay? Really matters. The heart. More than the mind right now. The heart desires something. We all, as nation builders in this class today, are preparing a vision of a new Canada that speaks to our hearts. Okay. Let's see what we have over on the cameras right now. I'm going to start to let us see what we get here. Camera controls. How this is working. Do we still have a preset there? Yes, we do. Nice. Okay. Oops. So that's the preset. Good. Excellent. And I'll just zoom in a little bit and then I'm going to lock this off. Okay, everybody. So watch what you will see. You'll see students at work. You can see a FOMA there. Excellent. Excellent. Okay, so I'm going to save that. Nice. So there's a saved. We come back here. Now, what happens over here? Yeah, so you can see this. Let's put this over here. And okay. Good, you can see Aaron working there. And that's good. Okay. And I'll zoom in here a little bit. Now, let's come in. Okay. I'll just show them so you can see everybody what's happening, what I'm doing right now. Okay, so I'm moving the camera around for those of you so they can see you online. So sometimes I zoom in and we see Aaron, we see Calvin. I move it over here and we see Isaiah. Okay, just so the YouTubers get a sense of who's in the class, what they're doing. Okay, good. So I'm gonna lock that off right now. But maybe we'll just go in a little bit further so we can see Aaron, we see Christian, and we see Madison. That's nice. And I'm going to lock that off as number 2. So there we go. Number 1. Number 2. Number 3. Now we're getting the presets working. Okay? Now we're getting the presets working. We come back here. We come back here. Beautiful. Okay. So the cameras, I've got the cameras working. Let's see what Liam is still working. Liam is working on something that's going to speak to the heart. And they're all at work on that right now. So let's see what happens on YouTube, because that will give us a sense of, okay, so we're back there. Okay. Now, if I go back on YouTube, oh, I see. Okay. So we'll let YouTube sit there for now, and we'll bring this in. We'll bring the notes in from, we've got 3. We'll bring the notes in for 2. Great. Let's see what we've got. What is your vision of the new Canada? Okay, so for those of you online, those of you in the cosmos, what you're seeing right now is around the edges of the class. I just showed that, but I will show it again so you can see. I'll just take you on a little tour. You will see students working on thinking through the vision for a new Canada. Whoops, no, that we don't want. We'll come back to here, and I'm over here, and then you can see, there we go, nice. So you see Aaron, and Aaron has made it very clear. He's from Uganda. He sees a future for himself as a political leader. So what he has to say is going to be important. Okay? Watch for Aaron today. Now I will come back. Okay? So 5 more minutes, and then we're going to come back together into the circle, and you can see how the vision is starting to fill up the big board. Now, what I may do with the big board is I'm going to try and tighten this up just a smidgen, so you can all see. Good. Whoops, that's the wrong camera. Come back here. That's what I want. Okay, how about the controls? Good. Come out once. Okay, and then we'll come down a tiny bit. We're going to leave it there. Save preset. Beautiful. Oh, I see why that was doing it, because I was at YouTube. Okay, in the live chat, I'm not seeing enough. Liam, Dylan, and Kenza, some hard thinking now. A vision speaks to the heart, most of all. So there's too much detail in Dylan's vision and Liam's vision. And with Kinza, she has not explained what national identity is. So, guys, you're falling behind. Dylan, Kinza, and Liam. 3 more minutes. Okay? Let's see it in the live chat. I want to see your ideas, but we have a nice setup for that. And how are we doing over here? Okay, so Christian, Aaron, and Madison are working on theirs. And then over here, we see Amir, we see Calvin and Afoma, Madison, Aaron, and Christian again. And then, of course, Alec, Sean, Gurpreet, and Ruth are over there. And then in the final corner, we have, and I want to bring you that. That would be Isaiah, Jonathan, and one more. Okay, so let's see what this camera is going to do. I'm going to try and preset this. There we go. So you can see the final one. There they are. We're going to zoom in. Nice. Okay, let's zoom out. This is a little unsteady, but we can see them working on it. Great. Okay. So, how are we doing? Yeah. We have the preset. National identity means core values. Okay. Kenza? Good. So,
Hello, are you able to hear me?
I'm still not feeling it. Kenza, core values. What are core values? Like something, remember, if you say core values, I understand that, but it's not getting my heart yet. Try again and describe what you think is a fundamental core value that speaks to all Canadians. And we are a very diverse nation, Kenza. So this is not going to be easy for you. But that's what you want as a leader of a modern, multicultural nation. A core value. What is it? 1 minute. 1 minute. Great. We've got lots of ideas going up here. We're almost ready. I'll get the microphones ready here. And we'll come back together. So we can see, and I like what I see here, because what we see on the big board are all of you thinking something through together. This is a classroom in which we think through together the most difficult challenges that we, humanity, face together. This is the planet-wide world in which we live today. We can't avoid that. As much as we try to build walls, to levy tariffs, to restrict access to our resources, as much as we try to keep us contained from the rest of the world, we can't do that in the world today. Once upon a time, we could. Every city had a wall around it. They were called city-states. But we don't do that anymore. We are fully interdependent and connected. So the question then is, how do we solve these problems together? That's what we're doing right now. Okay. When you have a moment and you've finished your final thought, please come back to the center here, the circle, and we're going to take this up together, okay? We have all of your thoughts up here on the big board, so we can all look at this together. The only one is Jonathan and Isaiah, and it's Sashpreet. Why don't you stay there for a moment, okay? Because we can't see you on the big board. And give it, thanks, Alec. Give them, we'll come to you, okay? So I'll show you what I'm doing, and this is working really well today. Finally, so here we come. We're all coming back, but what I've been doing is I've finally been able to preset things. So I would be going around while you were all working, and I would be doing this, for example. Okay, so students you would see everybody there. Afoma was just touching things up there. Sometimes I would come in close. Oh, no, not there. That I didn't preset. Sorry. Then I would come over to there. Yeah, and Jonathan. One of you stay there, okay, so that we can take it up. Isaiah will stay there, and then I can come back here. I can go over here for that. So finally, everything's working the way it should, and except for one of the screens. Okay, excellent. So what I'm going to do is I have the live chat here. I'm going to put everybody up here. So we see 1, 2, and 3, and 5 is over there. We'll come to them, but I can always bring the camera over. But just for fun, let's start with the group over there. And then once you're done over there, you can come join us in here, okay? But let me bring the camera over, and you will see what everybody is seeing. So it will be camera control, and then it would be there. Okay, so there we go. And then on YouTube, just so you can find, it'll come to YouTube momentarily. There we go. Okay, beautiful. So Isaiah, make sure the microphone's working. Everything's good. Tell us about your vision.
So our vision for New Canada is that we love to see a stronger sense of community amongst people. We also like to nationalize our industry across all industries. So like oil, forestry, water, electricity. We also like to further see more housing stability across the nation, as well as a stronger national self-reliance from like through our industry as well as in food production, as well as more food stability. We'd also like to see less predatory banking practices. There's a very strong monopoly.
Ooh, keep going. Okay, yeah. Huh. Excellent.
We'd like to introduce an idea of positive nationalism. I think it's very important to be an inclusive nation and encourage all people to be Canadian and represent what it means to be Canadian. We'd like to see a stronger economy with lower inflation. We'd also like to see better population distribution. as well as increase our agricultural outputs. We would like to increase military spending and help disenfranchised communities and fund schools. We'd also like to cap tuition costs for students and recognize that every community is a good community and increase diversity programs for students and international students.
Yes.
We'd like to remove bad debt and securities from our economy. We'd like to lower costs. We'd like to lower taxes. We'd like to build more houses, create less car infrastructure, leave the WEF,
What is the WEF?
the World Economic Forum.
Okay.
And we would like cities to be more people friendly, less car infrastructure.
Okay. Now, question for all of you, and then we're going to come to yours on the board. Is that a vision? Or is it more than a vision? As in a list of all the things that need to improve? What would you say it is? Is that a vision or it's a good list? It's a great list. I did not give you much criteria on what a vision is. It's coming out of our conversation. But Alec, is that a vision? It could be both. Vision could start as a list and then grow. Vision needs to be one sentence. It's like your elevator pitch, you know? Now, I'm not going to ask them to do that right now, but I'm going to say that from what I've seen also in the live chat so far with others, they too are giving some great ideas. No problem there. But I need to help you with the vision part, because a vision is a brief statement, a sentence or two that gets your heart, gets everybody in. Buy-in from everybody. Everybody wants in on this thing. This is hard. So leave that for now. Come back, okay, and join us. And I'm going to put the rest of the students up here so we can continue. But we will come to the live chat. Let's look at these together and try and maybe frame a vision before the end of today's class, which is in the next 15 minutes. Okay, Isaiah wants to say something. Grab a microphone, okay? Good. Yeah, go ahead.
I know we just said like a lot of talking points, but like I think that's a base for my vision. Like my vision for Canada is like I love to live in a country where people feel the value, like their value is like quantified, and that they're actually seeing results for the work that they're doing, whether it's like through taxes or social programs and food costs and housing stability. Like people want to feel that their inputs actually have an output that's tangible. So I think that's really important.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
We're getting there. We're getting there. Do you remember what you said at the first part of that long sentence? Can you rewind and give us that again?
My vision was
Just what you said in the first part of the sentence.
I'm drawing a blank. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I said it a lot.
Does anyone remember what he was starting to give a vision that was very broad. The vision is broad, embracing big tent stuff that speaks to all people. Before you start getting into, well, there's the people who care about housing, and there's the people who care about defense, and there's people who care about input, and there's people who care about output. But that's the details. We need that broad human thing that speaks to us all. So I'm not saying you do that right now. I want you to think about that, okay? And the beginnings of it were at the start of what you said, okay? And then you started to go into the details. Well, let's look at what else has been thought through. And then we can see where. First, let's take a look at this, okay? And see, we've got lots of things up here. What is your vision of the new Canada? Okay, Amir, Calvin, and Afoma. You ready to? Let's give the mic, Amir. Yeah, stay here. And Afoma, you can come join us, okay, on the couch, because we're okay now. We're going to just work together in the circle. Why don't you read out loud, Amir, and We'll talk about this.
So basically, like we used like 3 points. I hope like it will be like short as you can. Like we see like the Canadian, like the future in Canada should be stand in 2 feet, as we say, and turn Canada into a global like manufacturing hub that export more than it imports. So basically, sending more things. It's like this, like sending more things from Canada more than what we take from any other country. And like to strengthen those things and use those plans, like
Keep going.
we can here save our borders. So more money to our military, we can ensure like any dangers from Trump and his thing, his interest in Canada. So actually, I can't read the third one.
Okay. I just did something. I see a Canada, the new Canada, that can stand on its own 2 feet. For too long, we have been dependent on our big brother to the south. But now we are going to go forwards, fully independent, on our own 2 feet, mature, grown up, with our own defense force, with our own manufacturing that provides goods to each other and not always for export, for pipelines that take our resources and give the oil and others to us first. We're going to be mature. We're going to be grown up. We're going to be a powerful, transformed, new, grown up Canada, standing on its own 2 feet, not 1 foot in the United States and 1 foot here. We're going to take the foot away from the border and we're going to plunk it right here. And we're going to let the Americans come to us. Oh, do you know how hard that is to say as a Canadian? To say we have been immature? Oof. Painful. But I think, just to help you in this exercise, that speaks to so many people. That if you said, we will stand on our own 2 feet, more Canadians would listen to you than if you just talked about the economy and taxes. And more taxes. Ah, it's just endless. Money, money, money. People want more than money, even when they don't have a lot of money. They want more to dream of than just, where am I going to get rich? Even if you're broke, destitute, you don't know where your next meal is coming from. You still want something more, don't you, than just money and survival? Does that make sense what I'm doing? Do you see it? You don't have to agree with me necessarily. I simply want you to see the process of, where's the vision that speaks to the heart? Where's the vision that speaks to the heart? Way to go. Whoever put that up there. Okay, you all did it. Yeah, well, maybe she did. But then look at what she's doing. She's pointing at the others, and you're pointing. That's teamwork. Not, yes, it was me. To hell with the rest of you. Absolutely. We see plenty of that. In a way, you were on about the new community, Isaiah, and you're talking about new, like more community. But, you know, that could be interpreted as maybe something a little controversial. People might start to see a bit of socialism or communism or something in there. I'm not saying it is, but this might speak to something that's more bold. We want a bold new Canada. Okay, let's look at the next, all right? And see, because we have just a few minutes left. The vision of a new Canada. Who's this? Is this team 2? Do you want to? Okay. Aaron, this is a very important activity for you, okay? I think. So can you read that out loud, and then you can rewrite it too as you go, but we want to hear vision.
So our vision was to bring socioeconomic transformation, and we believe this is going to be possible in 3 different ways. Firstly, we temporarily close the borders, and this would help us solve the current housing problem we have and increase job protection for the current Canadians.
Speak up.
Would also
Project. If you're going to communicate and lead, I'm not saying you shout and loud, but you gotta give it more, okay?
okay.
You want to come and stand? You want to come and stand and say it? Come and stand, okay? Like you're speaking. Okay? We're having a rally. Maybe you're back at, is it Kinshasa? No, Uganda, it's Kampala. It's Kampala. Okay, let's say you go back to Uganda, but then you come back here. Who knows where you're going to be? But let's say you're in Kampala now, Uganda, and you have a party, and you're running in an election. Sir, we want to hear your vision for us in Uganda. We're listening.
Firstly, we decided we would want to see socioeconomic transformation. And one of the ways we believe we're going to do this is by firstly temporarily closing the borders, because this would help us with solving the current housing problem we struggle with. And this would also bring job protection and also increase national security here in Canada. We then want to shift the employment focus to the current Canadians.
Boring. Boring. Jeez, sound like a bureaucrat.
So
Oh,
we intend to shift the employment focus to Canadians because
exactly, Sean. Speak to the human desires, the human needs. It's not easy. Didn't you say you were really interested in freedom, democracy? Huh.
Wave a flag, salute while you talk.
Sort of, Sean, but not quite. Aaron, stay up there. The leader can handle the stress. You can handle the pressure. People are now skeptical of you. They think you are boring. What's that? How much? You can do it again. Absolutely. Okay. I'll remove this so it doesn't confuse. Absolutely. You're in school here. Okay. I'm giving you, you're brave. You're doing this in front of everybody. Okay. Take your time. Do not be boring.
hello to all of you. So firstly, we as a political party have decided we're going to bring social and economic transformation, because this is what we believe would be best to make you as Canadians reach your ultimate abilities. Firstly, with social, we intend to temporarily close the borders, and we believe this is going to help us with the housing problem we have. And this is going to make more houses available for you Canadians at lower costs, making your ability to live in Canada way cheaper for you. With this, with closing of the borders, we also know this is going to bring job protection for you in your jobs, because we have companies like Tim Hortons bringing in foreigners to do low cost and then fire you Canadians, making you people get unemployed. And so we believe with shifting our focus to Canadians, we will increase your job protection, meaning more Canadians will even have opportunities to work. And another thing with foreigners working is that when they work, they send most of the money back home. And this is money getting out of the economy, meaning we, the government, have less money to improve other areas of the country. And so with more Canadians working, there's going to be more income tax, meaning more money for the government to work with to improve certain areas of the country. We also intend to increase the national security.
Go back and tell us in 2 or 3 sentences. You've just come up. Give us the most important stuff right at the beginning. This is good. This is all good. And you show a real comfort and maturity. The way you are speaking right now is you are showing the beginning of a command of all the details. But speak to the heart. Give us the vision. Again, go back. What is this vision? What's going to make everybody want to clap and say, yes, yes, that speaks to us?
So one of the things we're going to do is close the borders. And the reason as to why we're going to close the borders is to make the standards of living of you that are already here.
Terrible idea. Who wants to close borders? We're living in a world right now where borders are coming down all the time. That scares me, sir. I don't want to have borders closed. I will lose all my friends.
Soon enough,
That's
you'll
not
lose your job.
inspiring. That's mean. I want inspiration. Go back and try it again. A vision. It gives hope and inspires. Take the microphone. We need to hear. He's teaching right now. He's teaching. Go ahead. Would you repeat what you did? You just did the teaching. Tell him what you just said. It's okay.
What you were doing was explaining step by step what you were planning to do. For the vision, if you look at the other group's example, right, it's a single sentence, Canada we see for the future, Canada we step on our 2 feet. So you had to take your idea, which is social economic transformation, and then turn that into like a full-on vision, a single sentence. So I was looking at mine and I was thinking about it.
Go
For
ahead.
example,
Go ahead. Refer to
I
yours.
was thinking, so our vision for Canada is to help Canadians stand back up on their 2 feet, to help them stop being bullied from those who oppress us.
Oh, okay. That's the beginning. Absolutely. How about speaking to freedom? What happened to your interest in freedom and democracy? And now suddenly we're hearing about walls. Doesn't sound like democracy.
Well, I don't think the problem
Ooh.
Canada has is anywhere related to freedom.
What's that?
I don't think the problems Canada has is anywhere related to freedom.
What are they related to?
I'd say most of your problems can be solved with working on your border. That I believe.
So then the border has to be changed.
Yeah. The way you operate people coming in and out has to be changed.
Okay. I will give you a little exercise for your discussion post, okay? If you could, in your discussion post, explain that thought about the border, but do it in a way that's positive. A vision is positive. You want to speak to not people's fears, but people's hopes and dreams. That's a good vision. Now, we need to stop because it's 11:45, and there's a lot that we didn't do. I'm going to leave that there for now, okay? I'll save this, Alec, okay? At least you did refer to that, which was good. I just haven't given you the time to really explain it more for everyone. We can review that next week. I just want to make sure you leave on time, and sometimes we go over, and I see the professor waiting there. Okay, so he wants to come in. I will save all of this. You're going to walk out of here today, hopefully, by thinking of vision, leadership, and Canada. And if you want to really go at this, come tonight to AFOMA's debate. I'm going to help. I'll be here doing tech support and helping her out as best I can. Okay? It's her event. It's all for students. I'm going to keep my mouth shut most of the time. Okay? Alec? Yeah. Yeah. Well, we never take a break. We're supposed to take a break at 11 and then end at 12. Really? You're supposed to by officially. Okay, well then, you know that I'm supposed to give you a 10-minute break at the top of the hour because that's part of the college's rules. Now, if I just heard correctly, this student is saying he would like the class to go a little longer. Boy, that makes me feel pretty damn good that you want to do that. Next week, maybe we'll try, okay? And I'll see. But for now, let's end. I'll save everything and have a great week, okay? Maybe see some of you tonight at a FOMA's great event. Okay, way to go. Good stuff, okay? Thanks, everybody. Okay, I'm going to save the live chat. Yes, okay. Just need to save this. I forgot it last week. It's so critical. Okay, everybody online, I'm just disconnecting now. Thank you, Dylan, Liam, Kinza. See you. Okay, let me save this. I've got it. Okay, the second thing, I have the live chat. I'm going to leave that. Good. Wave to everybody. Okay, let me stop. So we have privacy here. Okay, so they